Good evening, guys. You're welcome to class. I believe we are doing great. Yakundayo Samuel, you are welcome to membership. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Sadiq Miriam, good evening. You are welcome. I hope you can hear me and then. Okay, I haven't shared my screen yet. And then I hope my screen is also visible. Just hold on a bit. The screen will come up. It's not up yet, but it will come up very soon. Yes, Talabi Esther, you're highly welcome. I know those that are regular, uh, that always attend classes. Sadiq Miriam is one, Talabi Esther is one. They don't miss classes. Unlike some people that have strong head, you have to beg them and beg them to attend classes. Anyways, um, I hope my screen is okay like that. Are you able to see the content? Is it clear enough? Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Or should it? Okay. If you also need it to come up a bit, you let me know. If you're able to see it like that too, there's no problem. We can just start and get to business. But before we go into what we have today, I want you guys to a form of what I call introduction or a recap to sorry, a recap of the last class. You know, we have been doing something very interesting in this course, and I'm really enjoying it myself. You are not just here reading to pass exam, you've been practicalizing everything that we are doing. I mean, if you check your other classes that we've done in the previous uh, week, because this is a new week, we've been practicalizing everything we are learning or we've been learning in this GST102 on all other courses. Why we actually find the course very useful. It's not a course that is limited to itself. It covers randomly every other course, especially the topic we are treating at the moment, which is about paragraph development. We have done a lot on this paragraph development. I have said it several times that when we talk about developing a paragraph, I used illustrations a lot. I I said consider yourself trying to build a house, and then you have a structure in mind. This is what I want to construct. Of course, you will lay blocks in order to achieve the architecture of the building that you are projecting. So you lay blocks. Each of the block that you lay on each other has a significant role to play. So how well your mason, your bricklayers are good in laying those blocks will determine the accuracy of the result from what you projected in the building plan. So how well you are good in using all the ingredients that makes up a good paragraph is totally going to influence the result you will get whenever you write a paragraph. So, and in a paragraph, we've talked about several things that partakes in building a paragraph. When you want to construct or write a paragraph, consider yourself as a mason or a bricklayer. You want to build. You want to build. So, what are you building? You are building a paragraph. And what is a paragraph? Let's remind ourselves. I don't always want us to rush this class. You will find out that this class is one of the ones that we usually spend extra time when we have it. So I'm putting it to you guys now. What is a paragraph? Let's always remind ourselves that definition before we start anything, because this is what we are concerned about for the moment. We've not entered a new topic yet. All we have been doing since we started this course is discussing about paragraph, how paragraph works, how to come about paragraphs, things that make up a paragraph, different types of paragraph we have, and so on. So there is a question there. Welcome, our class captain, Sule Grace, Ima Obong, Rich Movies, Abigail Dacholom, Talabi Esther, and the rest of us that are here. So there is a question there. I'm expecting your response. I have a question there, and I think I am expecting your response to that. What is a paragraph? Or do I need to type it? I hope you guys can hear me. I strongly believe that every one of us by now should know, of course, what a paragraph stands for. I just want to believe that. Even if that is not so, I still want to believe it. Yes, peace, John, you are welcome. So that is a question there. Okay, Sule Grace says a paragraph is a piece of writing which is unified by a central controlling idea or theme. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Unified by a central controlling idea or theme. Thank you. That seems like a very perfect one. Now, we've discussed several things about this thing we call paragraph. This piece of writing. This piece of writing. We've talked about it. Like, what are the things you need to write it, to come up, to construct, to build this paragraph? That was how we started talking about something like the topic sentence, which the topic sentence that unifies the whole thing you are going to write. It's like the main topic. Every paragraph is supposed to have a topic, and everything else you write will only surround the topic. We only try to talk about the topic. We only try to express more, describe more, illustrate more, give examples, you know, about the topic. So whatsoever you write in the paragraph will only evolve around the topic sentence in that paragraph. And we said once you have a solid topic sentence that you want to develop in a paragraph, you must also know how to be coherent. You must be able to link each idea, each sentence, each statement that you will make about the topic sentence of that paragraph. You must be able to link them together logically so that when I'm reading the paragraph, I will understand. When Grace reads the paragraph, she will understand. Not that you want to talk about how to operate a TV set, then you start from the last thing somebody was supposed to do and started moving forward to backward to the first thing the person was supposed to do. You would have confused the reader if you are doing that. So you must know how to be coherent in your paragraph. Is coherence the only thing that matters in the paragraph? We'll also talk about transitional devices. When you use transitional devices, they help me to know where is important, or when you are about to change idea in this your paragraph. So those are things we've learned about the paragraph. Your paragraph must be coherent. It must, have a topic sentence, and The idea of a topic sentence is that one paragraph, one topic sentence. One paragraph. In fact, you could no longer bother to give our video a like. You know me, man, I just stop bothering because since you guys are paying now, you can be doing that until I stop this your classes for you guys. You know what you are supposed to do when you join a class like this. We don't need to start shouting it every time again. The thing is, it once something is liked a lot like that, it helps others to quickly find. When somebody just type GST102 in Google now, the Google will easily suggest this one that people have liked so much that okay, see you, this is a video on it. All right, so let's leave that and get back to business. So after we've talked about coherence and we've talked about topic sentence, and we've expressed both in a very elaborate way for you to understand. Then we started talking about ways, different styles that you can develop your paragraph. That was how we started with illustration. We talk about developing your paragraph using illustration and examples. And we've done quite a lot on that. We practiced so many write-ups. Tonight, however, our concern is on description. Things that will make me to think towards the direction of describing my topic sentence. What kind of or what type of ideas will I want to pass that will need me to use description, or what type of topics fits into description? Those are the things we will learn tonight, and how to use the description, how to describe. What are the things I will see in a piece of writing that will make me quickly identify that the method this writer used in developing this thing, or this piece of writing, or this write-up, or this article is description? Are there words that will quickly make me know that, oh, since this particular word appear in this paragraph, the person is actually describing using, or sorry, actually writing the paragraph using description. Those are the things you want to know tonight. You want to know what description is all about, how to use it, and how to recognize it. In exam, you are probably not going to be using it because, excuse me, they will not ask you to develop a paragraph. However, they will give you paragraphs and ask you to identify if it is a description, or an illustration, or a definition, or a cause and effect. Those are the different types of paragraph development styles we have. Let's get to business, guys. I think we have done quite a lot of introduction and you understand what we are talking about now. But before I go deep into tonight's class, I want to ask us a simple question, a brain teaser. And the question is, I will not type it. I will just say it and I expect you guys to answer it. It's like you guys are used to typing and you will not listen to what I'm saying. So, we talked about illustration in the last class. I want to ask you this TMA question. It's a live question in your TMA. Writers are advised, listen carefully because I will not type it. Writers are advised to use adequate illustration because writers are advised to use adequate illustration when writing or when developing a paragraph because of what? What does illustration do that makes writers to be advised to use a lot of them, or adequate one? Yes? Okay, let me give you the options because it's a TMA question actually. It's a TMA question. Encouraged to use adequate. In fact, last semester it was question 7 or so, if I can recall it. Let me share help. The thing is, even if I want to help you, the thing will not. Okay, let me do this. I'll drop only the question first, then the option separately. So I've helped you guys, because now somebody will say, I did not see the question, or I don't know the question. So, okay, in fact, option A to C will come first, then option D will come next, because the write up is too much for YouTube. So that is the full question. I am expecting you guys to answer that question. This is a live TMA question, and I am sure most of you here that will do your TMA yourself, you will meet that question this semester. So wait for it. If you like, answer it now. You have more than 30 here now, and nobody is replying to the chat. Continue. Writers are often encouraged to use adequate illustration in paragraphs because they dash A. Help the writer to explain reasons for an event. B. Help both writer and reader understand each other. C. Help the reader to understand difficult concepts. D. Help the writer to create an accurate image of an event. Somebody is even giving me an answer that is not in the option. It is well with you. Omoyasuno said he has answered it. Okay. Where is his answer? They help the reader to understand difficult concepts. Thank you, Omoyasuno. That's your own answer. Okay, don't worry. We are going to do the experiment clearly. I want to see your answers first before we defend, before we go back to look for the correct answer in our material. And after that, we'll commence tonight's class properly. Yes, I am waiting for your responses. There's quite a lot of people. It's C, it's C. What is that option C? Option C said it's help the reader to understand difficult concepts. Okay, so when you illustrate, I as a reader will be able to understand difficult concepts. Okay, okay. Let's see it. Let's keep having it. I want other. Don't you have somebody that want to disagree with option C? Thank you, Rich Movie. Rich Movie is going with option D. Option D, yes. And Rich Movie go. Oh, Rich Movie is not sure of herself. She just deleted the answer. No, 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 no. I need somebody that is sure, that want to argue with that option C. The answer is not C, so the person wants to argue. Yes, we have quite a lot of people going for C. Okay, so C is the answer. C is the answer. So Omoyasuno was the first person to open the floor. Now let's check from the material. I won't provide the answer. I want you to see it for yourself, the material. So where did we talk about illustration? Let's just go back a bit, just a bit. This is illustration. This is illustration. Now, I want somebody to look at this. Oh, how I wish we are on Zoom meeting. I would have said you should read this out. I would have said you should read this out. I understand where Abigail Dacholom is coming from. This is a full statement in the material. However, in TMA, they did not put the statement like this. They kind of shorten it to only difficult concept. So you guys are chose option C, starting from Omoyasuno. That is absolutely correct. It helps the reader to understand a difficult concept. So when you are trying to teach a difficult thing that you know that this thing is above my audience, it's above their knowledge, it's above their thinking, you are advised to use illustration. When you illustrate to me and say, okay, for instance, or you say, for example, let us say that, I will now be able to relate. You are illustrating using something I am used to. You want to teach me something I am not used to, then you are using something that I am used to as an example. It then will sink into my understanding. So guys, tonight I welcome you to class, where our focus will be primarily on description. We want to talk about description this evening. Please stay tuned and be ready to learn, and be ready to answer a whole lot of questions tonight, because uh, this night is going to be focused on a whole lot of call and response. Now, but before anything, I would like us to read. Let's read. After reading, we will decide what else to do. Explanation. Description. Developing a paragraph using the description method. You may, okay. Oh, sorry. That method will not work. Now, you may never have to write descriptions which are complete in themselves, but you may need to include descriptions in other pieces of writing. Example, personal letters, narratives, reports, travelogues. You may like to describe people, places, objects, habits, and conditions, as well as scenes such as accidents. Okay, let's move on. Since descriptions are concerned with detail, the larger and more precise your vocabulary, the better your descriptive writing will be. The following items are usually included in descriptive writing. Guys, pay attention to this place. There is a question in TMA that is used in description. Which of the following is usually used in description? The option, they put several options there, but I think the one that is correct, that is included in the TMA option, is when you see place, position, direction. I think that was the correct one they put. But notwithstanding, if it's in the exam like they put, you should note the following when you are reading a piece of writing and the following seems to be appearing in a particular aspect of the writing. That aspect was developed using description. How do you identify that this aspect is talking about description? When you see things like places, position being mentioned, direction being given, when you see measurements, weight of object, size, volume, the distance, when you see shapes being mentioned, patterns, colors, textures, materials, and substance, that paragraph is being developed using description. Now, it's as simple as that. Don't worry, we'll still explain. We are merely reading. But before we go into this example of descriptive paragraph, I think my screen is too wide, so let's reduce it a bit. Before we read this example of description or descriptive paragraph, I want to explain a bit on what we've read on description so that it helps the understanding of most of us here. Okay, if we talk about description, generally, what can we say description means? In a very simple term, description means you painting a picture with words. When you are describing, you are doing what? You are painting a picture with words. That is the easiest way for you to understand the concept of description. So now imagine you wanting to teach me the meaning of relationship. Then you are trying to paint a portrait, a picture in my mind. As you are saying it, a picture is being created in my mind as a listener to you or somebody that is reading what you've read down. So you know that in order for you to create a picture using words, you must be a professional. You must have enough vocabulary. Because if you are not sound in English, if you don't have enough vocabulary, you can't do well in painting a picture using words. Some people are so good in vocab that if they should, express or describe some things, the picture will automatically appear in your mind based on that description. Now, when you describe something very well, the reader should almost be able to see, hear, and feel, or even smell that thing, or even imagine it, even though that thing is not there presently. But the person will be able to see from his or her mind, will be able to hear that thing, feel that thing, smell, or even imagine that thing, even though that thing is not there physically. So let's take an example. Instead of you to say, for instance, we decide to organize a get together in our mass communication group, and I ask you guys to come to Abuja, or probably we decide to get, maybe if you check the demography of how many of us Abuja or in Lagos or in Port Harcourt. So if the people in Lagos are quite much, to travel down to Lagos. So we decide to, and when we get to the hotel, everybody, those in Lagos are already there, in the place for us. So if Omo Yasuna was to be coming from Ghana, for instance, and he landed in Lagos in the hotel, and when you get to the hotel, he said, "Wow, the hotel is beautiful." Or maybe when he returned to his place in Ghana, then he was telling his friends to say, "Oh, the room was beautiful. Like the room I slept in that hotel, the room was beautiful." When he just said the room was beautiful, he has not created any image in the mind of his listener. Whoever was listening to him then, the image is not clear. If you say the room was beautiful, yes, you try, but that is not description. You have not, the person who wants more. Okay, how was it? What was the paint? What was the color? Did they hang any portrait on the wall? What kind of TV was there? But the person wants to know more: the shape, the color, the size, the painting, the this, the that, the that. That is enough description. Now, let me give an example. Instead of Omayasuna to say, okay, the room was beautiful, probably the room they kept in when he came for the get together. You guys should know what we definitely do that get together very soon. We'll do that get together very soon. So you can say this to make it better. Instead of saying the room was beautiful, let me give you an example now. What if Omayasuna said the room was small but beautifully arranged? A large brown stood against the left wall, while a wooden reading table corner beside the window. The walls were painted cream, and a blue curtain covered the wide window. What are now? You see the difference? Let me drop it there. I just hope that the chat will be able to take it. So instead of Omoyasuna saying this to maybe his friend or his girlfriend when they got back to Ghana, now you sabi whether you dey Lagos, I don carry you go Ghana tonight. Instead of him to say that, you could just say this. Now I want you guys to read the difference between the two. You see which one is painting a picture in the mind of whoever is listening to it. Which of these two is painting a picture in the mind of the person listening to it? Just read the two. One, when Omoyasuna got back to Ghana, he said, the room was beautiful. He said the room was beautiful. Fine, it may be correct, but something happened. Instead of saying that, he said the room was small, was beautifully arranged. A large brown bed like that stood against the left wall, while there was a wooden reading table against the left wall. And then you see the corner that was by the corner of the bed. So now, what are you trying to drive out? When you are describing, you find yourself measuring, giving sizes, shapes, color, different things. You are painting a picture in the mind of your reader. But do you know that before you can get to this level, you must be a professional in English? Like you must have it's not